si čas od času pustím Garyho hru, když je mi smutno, nebo když se cítím trošku jakoby odtržený od reality. Vracíte se k ní?
Ani ne. Se mnou to je jako vždycky, protože je to moje osobná záležitost, tenhle film, že jo. Takže jsem vždycky rád, že se to divákům líbí a že to má chci říct, I'm glad it has a life of its own. I'm always happy when people watch it. And I'm glad it has a good effect on you, that it has something that cheers you up.
Yeah. Are your Czech roots appreciated in your work in States?
I appreciate my Czech roots very much. I am affected by my early childhood experience intensely, deeply. And in everything I've done, it has drawn from those roots. So when I was at Pixar, I was the guy with the European sensibility. I'm not sure if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but that was me. Anything is possible, and you have to be open to all these possibilities. It should just be good. It should be well made, honestly made, seriously made, and then, you know, you can be poetic, you can be dramatic, you can be comedic. Almost any form works, and forms that are not sustainable as long films work as short films. So it's so open, so powerful. It's great. I agree. It's the best form of animation, short.
Would you appreciate limitations in creation also?
Good work is not possible without limitations. If you give me no limitations, I'm lost. Yes, give me a place to stand and I can move the world. But if I don't have a place to stand or something to push against, I'm floating in emptiness. We all want so-called creative limitations. Simple color palette, particular style, something that gives us the edges of the box that we're in. And then, in that limitation, we can express whatever we want, but we have to have some edge to the world. We all see the world in so many different ways, and style, the ability for animation to come in so many different flavors, so many different shapes and sizes and colors, is always very appealing to everybody. I think animation is universal. Sure it is. And more than live action filmmaking, animation can be successful without dialogue, without language.
Nature is never full. Nature is never in one sort of static moment. Our nature and the nature of reality around us is that it's always in flux. But there are certain constant factors there. Like, I mean, it's kind of interesting that we are with a fountain, because in my universe, there's always a fountain at the center of it. You know, whether you look at The Monster of Nyx, whether you look at Lonely Bones, you know, there's always this fountain in the center of it. And why is this? Because for me, the fountain, for example, is this whole idea of water being recycled. You know, it flows. It's the spring, but it's also, it takes it in again, and then it comes out again. This is where all these things happen and are being recycled. This is basically the motor of it all. And water is extremely important to me. You know, water is my element. If you look at my characters, which are called the Langimeni, which are the forest guys, they are one of my other alter egos. They carry around water, silver water.
Rosto, I can imagine that people consider your work like dark and depressive and stuff like that. But it's not so simple, isn't it?
For me it isn't. For me it is more about the, some people call it the subconscious. If you're more into the Freudian, Jungian thing, it's the subconscious. But you would say the demonic, deeper depths of our psyche, basically. And by demonic, I don't mean necessarily evil. Demonic is actually a word that comes from Greek, and it means the deeper waters. And my films, in my art, basically, I really always try to go there. And cinema is so great at it because, it shines a light in the darker areas. That it frightens some people, doesn't really surprise me because we don't often go there. And because it's unknown, it might be slightly frightening.
The splinters.
You're bringing light and you're working with time, you're working with rhythm.
Yeah.
Does film has other basic qualities for you?
Yeah. The reason why I love cinema is that, for me, art is about one soul trying to communicate with another. So the mother of all arts, for me personally, is music. Because music doesn't need any translation, doesn't need any explanation. If you cry because of music, or you feel extremely euphoric because of a piece of music, no one will ever ask you, but why? It doesn't need any further explanation. It's a straight communication between souls. I try to do that with cinema because it's such an immersive medium. It's the only art form where you get together with a bunch of strangers in a dark room and you have a seance. We look at spirits. We really go into those places that might not exist anymore, maybe never existed, whatever, but we believe them for as long as the film lasts.